Well, hello man cavers, what are we doing today? We're going to fix something very different. A 1960s Honda ED250 DC only generator. There's no AC on this, just DC. I don't think that's been running years. So, let's roll the credits. See if we can get this little turd going. Ha-ha! Welcome to the man cave. Let the games begin. So here we are, folks. I picked this up from Face Space Marketplace on Sunday. What's this on my chair? It is now Wednesday and we need to see. Well, I don't think that's been going for years. The guy said it needed a TLC. So let's do some, well, have a look around this thing really. Let's pop the back cover off and see what we've got going on under here. Now, these are a DC only generator, no mains on this. You can see your outputs on here, look, there we go. We have DC 24 volt 250 watt, 12 volt 200 watt. And 6 volt 60 watt, there we go. That's what we've got outputs on here. Now I did notice a couple of things missing on the picture. When I bought this I noticed there's meant to be a little pair of spades in there where you get your 6, 12 or 24 volt feed from. That's missing. So I'm assuming the output is just going to come out of these two. Now, I know Honda generators a little bit, but I've never worked on one of these little 250 DC only ones. I've worked on the small mains ones, because I have one. But these little ones, and I'm assuming we get 12 volts out of there, really not sure. Anyhow, we want to check, first things first, have we got a spark? So let's turn that to on. So that's on. So we should have ourselves the ignition switched on. I know nothing about this. We'll take this out. These have got the smallest spark plug known to man. Where's my socket? Oh, plug is loose. Plug is loose. Oh dear. Look at that tiny little spark plug. Look at that for a little Nimrod. That is minute. CM6. There we go. That has got to be the smallest spark plug I've ever seen. Why was the plug loose? This is not a good sign. It's like someone's been checking for a spark. Hang on. Let's get our sparkulator back in there and see if we have any form of spark. Can you see in there? Let's get you zoomed right in. Let me hold this plug with one hand. Here we go. If I get a belt, I'll snatch my hand out the way. Then you'll soon know, won't you? Let's give her a tug. Oh there. Oh there. Oh there. Ah. Well, straight away, that's a bit of a bummer because we don't have a spark. But not all is lost. Now you would assume, being a Honda, this would be electronic ignition. And the lack of spark would be something to do with an ignition module or this coil under here going bad. But what a lot of people may not know, these have got points, my friend. So we'll see if we can clean the points up. Let's have a look at the air cleaner. See if we've got anything in the air cleaner. There isn't even an air cleaner in it. I think someone's been twiddling with this to try and get it going. But we will see. Right, let me stitch you around here. I'm going to get you in here, hopefully behind me, so you can hopefully see what I'm doing. No, we'll come this way. Look, there we go. I want you guys to have a good view of what we're up to. So, we need to get this side cover off because there's a set of points underneath here. Screw, screw. Now we've got to take this front cover off as well. It's what I like about Hondas. So well made. And why don't that recoil spring go all the way back in? So well made, it's unbelievable. Right, there should be 4 screws. And hopefully we can see if we can get some form of spark back on here. Because if these haven't been ran for years, like anything else, if it hasn't been ran for years, you could easily lose your spark because your points could get jammed up. Now, I don't know an awful lot about these generators. I think they started making this model in 65 up to around 75, I think. What they were used for, I'm really not sure. Battery charging, perhaps, I really don't know. Alright, let me show you what we're doing here. Now, under this cover, at the middle here, unless somebody's had them all out, there should be a set of points. Now, the good thing is, a lot of people, opportunists, would never know there's a set of points under here. And the likelihood is this cover has probably never been off since the damn machine was new. There is, look, and look how, look, let me get you right in there. Look how extremely clean them points are. Look at that, look how clean that all is in there. So let's hope them points are a bit furry. So let me get the old lady's nail file. I think there's one in the box. There is. This is the nail file I used on the Villiers to get a spark, if you remember. So let's see what sort of state these points are in. Oh, straight away. Look at the brown crud. What's come off them points? Instantly there's crud on them points. That's a very good sign. So with a man, let's get in with a clean piece. Now we're getting somewhere. Look, we're getting them filed up nicely. Cool. Look at the muck that's taken off them points. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Look at that. All that crap on them points. And as you guys know from my last video, having mucky points is never good. You'll be surprised a lot of the time, you know, all it takes is a little clean up of your points and you can get a spark back on virtually anything. Especially a Honda, because these are normally uber reliable. Now, what do I know about these? They're 50cc 4-stroke Honda engines. I've never heard one of these run before. I have the bigger one, which is the 650 watt 240 volt from the 70s, and that's, I don't know what cc that is. I think that's about 120cc, but that is extremely quiet. I need a bit of cardboard to go in them points just to clean out, don't I? Hang on, I've got to top off a spark plug box here. Look, 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 here we go. I don't want to put any cuts in this video because I want you to know that that's all genuine. So after you've sanded your points, just go through them with a bit of card. That takes any oil, contaminants or grit off. There we go, our card has stayed clean. Now we need to check, before we put all this back on, oh, that top's all loose now because the sides aren't on. Let's have a look now if this thing got a spark. And if it has, where do we go from there? Do we just go straight into throwing petrol in it and seeing if it runs, or do we take the carb off and give that an ultrasonic bath? Right, here we go. There's our plug. Hang on, let's get you round here. I'm going to hold this again. Have we got any form of spark? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Our spark is back. Hang on, you didn't see that, did you? You didn't see that. I think I had camera angle wrong. There you go. Look at that, look. I don't know whether that show up on the camera, but there is a very good spark there now. So where do we go from here, guys? Do we just chuck petrol in it and hope for the best? Nah, that's not much of a video, is it? Let's buzz this little plug back in. I think, to make a more interesting video, we'll take the carb off and just give that an ultrasonic clean. Yeah. So that tiny little plug back in. What are we going to do? Get this points cover back on now, I think, before we start losing bits. Because we don't want to start losing bits. So let's get the points cover back on. Where are we? There we go. That's one side back on. Is this side going in? Yeah, look at that. I do love Hondas, you know. Them potched up Chinese two-stroke compressors, I mean generators you get these days, they're just rubbish. Alright, how do we get the carb off this? I really don't know. Can you see what we're doing here? Jeez, you can see. I think, hang on, there should be screws in these. One screw, 3 nuts. Somebody has been twiddling in here. So let's take the one screw out, I see. Because these should all be Phillips screws hold these covers on. The only bolts there should really be is bolts what hold the engine onto the bottom frame. Oh, I'm dropping sockets everywhere now. I really need a new... I really need a new rail for my quarter drive sockets, you know. Because the one where my 8 and 10 mil go in, they just don't hold anymore. Now, I don't think it's quite as straightforward as you think to remove the carb off these, because I believe I took one off an EX650 once, and that was a tricky little sock, because there's no room. What's going on there? Oh, there's a pipe on here, look. Take him off. Well, take him off. Right, where is our carb? What are these 2 screws here? And what is this bit? This is interesting. See, there's 2 screws here. Does that take this whole thing off, or does this thing split? Well, they're loose. They look remarkably loose. So what are they? Oh, that takes like a... Oh, okay, that takes an air filter assembly off, look. That ain't an air filter, that's like an air baffle, look. Very strange, I like it. Now, what's all this black here? This black cover? Of course, this recoil string don't go all the way back in. That was all the way in when I got the machine. I pulled it over twice when I got back, and that stayed out a bit and don't go back in. It's like the... I don't know. Right, where's this carb? I think we have got to have this black cover off, which looks like 3 screws and a bolt. Let's pop this black cover off. Yeah. I have got a little snippet coming up soon. A subscriber, Marcus, he has sent me a present. I don't know what it is. I haven't actually opened it yet. I have it in the house. This is probably not the ideal video to open his present to. Because he said, can you open it on camera? I said, yes, Marcus. I don't suppose he wants that open to a video on a Honda though. So when I do my next video, which will be the Villiers, that's off. Right, what can I see? We have, oh, that's been done years. One of the coolant fins have snapped off, see that? But that has been done, that's been snapped off for donkey's years, look. I mean, there's all corrosion over the brake. Not unduly worried about that. Now this thing goes back in. I wonder if this recoil just needs some WD around to help that go back in. Because that string is annoying me hanging there. Let me get some WD. So we have some 3-in-1 and we have some WD. I don't particularly want to take this centre nut off in case all this recoil fly to bits. So we're just going to feed it the onions. Bang a load of WD in there. And hope. Well, that recoil will work a lot better, but it still isn't going all the way in. Yes, it is. There you go, that's going all the way in now, look. See that? That string is virtually, yeah, it's going all the way back in again. Let's feed it some more onions. There we go. Oh yeah, that string's going in. Right, let's see if we can get this carb off. There's a small fuel pipe here that really needs to come off. Can we get this hose clip up out of the way? I mean, it's a pathetic hose clip. That's one of them little wire things what don't really do a lot. And you can't get a pair of pliers in there very easy to do it. So let's see if we can just prise this pipe off. Ooh, that pipe has gone really stiff. I do hope we're not going to break this fuel pipe getting him off. Oh no, here he comes. Here he comes, look. This might be a bit overkill. There we go, fuel pipe off. Oh, that is really stiff. So I don't want to give that a lot of stick. But we just need to get to whatever are these tiny little nuts in here. Oh, not 8 mils. How the hell are you meant to get them out? You can't get a socket through onto them. What's this? That's an overflow pipe. So that can come off. Oh, that just pulls off. So we've got one there. And another one right under there. Ah, hang on, we can just take the bowl off. Look at that. It looks like we can just take the bowl off, which might be all we need to do. There you go, that pries over there, look. There's a pipe on the bottom here. What's all this about? That's an overflow pipe. Let's just have a look in this float bowl and see if this carb looks bad. Because if it don't, you know, that's as far as that's going. You look in there. You look in there. I was going to take this whole carb off, but I don't have a new gasket. Look how clean that looks. Look at that. See that? Little brass float. The little floater's free. Floater's free, look. Yeah, that floater's moving a treat, look. See that? Yeah. That floater's moving a treat. Choke works. So I think, of course, getting that nut out under there is a spanner job, and getting that one out there is a spanner job. Is everything free on this? What's that screw in there? Is that factory, or has that been chewed in there at some point? And this has got a weird twist throttle situation here. Now you alter the engine speed, you screw this in. Now does that work? So let me screw that in. Look at that. The throttle does work. Look, see that? Just for twisting that knob. Yeah. I think give all this a good WD up. A WD up in that needle and seat. Just to help it. And then put this bowl back on, which I love that's held on with this clip. That is really good. Let me get you back in the tripod. So I can use two hands and we can see what we're doing. There we go. So let's have a look. See if we can squirt a bit of WD. Oh, look at that. Right up into there. All in this carb. Give her a little WD up. Now I'm not going to go rinsing the outside of this carb body down yet, because I don't want crap falling down into that float bowl, do I? That would be the last thing we want. So we're now going to put this float bowl back up, if I can house it. That's housed. Look at that. Oh, I love Honda. Right. This is a very unusual video for Man Cave, because as you know me, I don't normally work on Japanese stuff. I really don't. Right, so I think there's a fuel tap on this on and off switch. If that's like the EX650, when you do this on off switch, it also turns on the fuel tap. So I've turned it off. So before I just get stuff out of the tank and pour it in there, I want to just turn the tap on with the pipe off to see what sort of stuff comes out of it. And let's have a look inside the fuel tank. Ooh, that's interesting. You want to look inside there? Yep, you might like looking inside there. Where are we? Let's get the flashlighter on. Da-da-da, look at that. That looks surprisingly clean, and there's capillary tubes in there, look. Capillary tubes and like a fuel strain. I wonder if that's a reserve pipe or something, although I can't see a reserve setting on there. We have engine off on. There's that throttle lever. Right, I think we'll dump a little bit of petrol in there. I have some petrol in a can, which come out of last year's lawnmower. I'm joking. And we'll see. And this is not ethanol petrol either. I've said this 100 times. Do not use ethanol petrol, this E10 rubbish. Do not use that. Do not use that in generators, especially, because they don't get used very often. Do not use it in lawnmowers. If you're using it in your car, fine, because it gets used up. But do not use it in small engines, because that is horrible, horrible stuff that does damage. The ethanol separates from the water and corrode all your components. So do not use E10 petrol. Right, disclaimer out the way. Let's look at that fuel hose. And let's turn our petrol on and just see if anything comes out. Way, look at that. Oh, that looks like a nice clean flow of petrol as well. That's all good. As it now runs all over the table where I'm going to be sitting, look. And drip on my lap. I'd better get a rag. Right, here we go. Here's our cloth. And we have wiped up our mess. Perfect. Now, a couple of you mentioned in the last comments, I was like, are we never going to hear your diesel compressor running again because of where I'm doing the videos now? Answer is yes, you'll hear it again. Where I used to do my videos was my parents' place, and I always lived relatively local to that. And I can't get that petrol pipe back on. Yeah, I always lived relatively close to my parents, so I used to go down there to do the videos. But now I've moved that little bit further away. I know it's only 30 miles, but even so, to save me going down there every day to do a video, I'm doing some videos of smaller stuff from back home. Come on, get back on there, you little monkey. Come on. So you'll see videos shot from both locations. Nothing has changed. My old location's still there, the van is there, all my bits are there. Just for simplicity and to save a lot of running about and to give me more time to do these videos, I'm going to start filming some on the smaller stuff like this and like that little Villiers. That'll be coming back here soon, so I can actually film getting all them running. Right, what are we going to do? Shall we get this cover back on? Let's close that choke. Let's just give the outside of this carb a squirt down, because believe me, it actually looks relatively clean. It actually doesn't look too bad at all. I was expecting a nightmare inside that carb, but it was alright. So let's get this. There's another drain pipe here. Can we get that back through that slot where it should be? Or have I just opened a can of worms here? Why don't I just take the easy way and put it back from the way I know I can get it through? Here we go. There we go. Common sense to the rescue. Will this little nipper go back over here? I hate these fiddly little clips, you know, they're horrible little things. Right. Where is my pliers? So I can just nip this little clip up. There we go, we're back on. All you need is the right tools. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the petrol on and undo this drain screw on the bottom of this carb, so the carb will flush through and stuff will come out of this pipe. Could be both pipes, but hopefully just one, and go on my cloth. So let's see. Petrol's on. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get him back on. Yeah, where are we? And I'm quite interested to know if this little nipper is going to run. I would have liked to have had that carb off. If it don't run at this, that's probably what we'll have to end up doing, taking the carb off. But I'm hoping we're going to have some joy. I think we can get these end... this pipe got to go back on here, look. Here we go. Is this right? Have I got this right or not? Yeah, got to be that way because the choke goes that way. What's going on? Oh, I see, that pipe was not right. Okay. I get it now. Come on. So yes, you will be getting different videos from 2 different locations now. But don't worry, you will still see the old Man Cave HQ a lot. It's just I am going to concentrate on doing some smaller videos here over the winter to save me a lot of travelling and running about. There you go. Yeah, don't you love how Hondas go together, look. We can now button all them down. And this is where I find that's all in vain because it don't work and I'll have to take them all off again. There you go. Tell you what we will have a look at while we're here. There's a little light. Right, this wire here is the kill wire, which look like it goes up to this switch. So this will be the kill wire. This wire, these 2 blacks, look like these 2 blacks go into 1 black here. And now the wire what go to the points. So these wires go to your coil. Right. Somebody's taken that block out, unless that weren't there. It doesn't look like there's wires been cut, but there's a chocolate block connector in there. Look, and we've got 2 empty slots. That don't make a lot of difference to it because they're empty the other side as well. Well, either way. Oh yeah, there is a little bulb in there. There's a tiny little incandescent bulb in the back there, what obviously powers on that light. Right, let's get this other end cover on, which comes like so. Have we got everything buttoned back together here? How do these wires here go? I think they just tuck on the end there, look. Oh yeah. Yeah, somebody's definitely played because they've put bolts in here. This can be concerning because let's just hope whoever had this, see there weren't a spark on it and just sort of gave up at that. Let's hope she don't have further problems. But we shall see. The people I got it from actually lived in quite a nice house with some nice motors and that, so I wouldn't have thought they were the sort of people that would have messed around with this. How they got it, I don't know. Maybe it come to them in some stuff they bought, I'm really not sure, but I can't see they'd be the type of people to mess around with this. But somebody in the past has been twiddling with it. Yeah. This is a job on, innit? Sorry, this is getting a bit long-winded. But I like to film everything live in its entirety. There we go. Alright, that's got the tank sorted. Let's get the air cleaner cover back on. How does that go? This way, doesn't it? Well, that seems to be going in. Everything's doing up. I know we haven't got an air cleaner, but we'll see, haven't we? So let's get this front cover back on to make it actually look like a Honda generator again. And we'll see if this little puppy will actually start. Because we know now we've got a spark. We haven't checked the oil on it, have we? Because it is 4-stroke, remember, even though it's 50cc. She's still, we've got the plug lead on him. Yeah, plug tightened up. Although she's only 50cc, she is still 4-stroke. And I believe these engines also have a low oil, well, my old 650 has an oil warning light. So if the oil's too low, you won't get a spark because it cuts the spark. So let's, I haven't tipped this thing up or over, so we should get quite an accurate oil reading. And hopefully there is some oil in there. Wipe the stick. Screw him back in, screw him out. Look at that, look at that. The oil is on the full mark. And look, that oil looks superbly clean. Absolutely superbly clean. Well, that's all good, isn't it? Let's wipe that around there. There we go. Where's my dipstick gone? On the floor. And there's no petrol smell in that oil either. Alright, I think we need to get this little puppy on the floor. Let's turn him on. Let's come back here. Now, we'll try and start it on the table. That'll save me doing a lot of pushing and bending, won't it? Let me just move these tools. I don't suppose that's going to vibrate like a Lister diesel. But we will see, won't we? We will see. That's if it even runs. I'm just hoping, now we've got a spark and the carb looks clean, that it's going to go. Well, there's our throttle. So let's put that sort of full out. Let's put our choke open, closed, and let's give her a pull. Wow, oh, did you see that? Turn the choke off. Wow. Look at that. The little puppy's going. Look at that. Wow. We have the oil too slowly. They're away now. What is that noise? That's the table vibrating. There we go. Our little Honda is running. Aha! There we go. There we go. Look at that. Ain't that lovely? Let's switch him off. Well, this is exactly what I like to see. Look at that. It ran. Do you know, I think if I'd had that idle turned up, she would have started first time. Straight there. Just how a Honda should. So, there folks. I think we need to get a multimeter at some point. Button on there to see if we've got any outputs, but unfortunately I haven't got mine with me. But we have a running Honda generator, and didn't she sound nice as well? She sounded really nice. So there we go. that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very, very much for watching, and remember, Marcus's present will be opened on the next video, because it's not really appropriate to open someone who has a channel about listers when I'm working on a Honda. So yes, we will see you guys next time. Bye bye for now. Honda ED250. Excellent. Well, it turns out I did have my multimeter with me. So, I can see what's vibrating now, look. When that was running last time, nut and washer on the seat. That sounded a bit tinny. Right. I finished videoing this about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, and I've just this minute finished editing and thought, hang on, is the multimeter in the car? It is. So we've got to start this thing back up, see if we have any outputs. First time, look. Now we're DC only, so we're going to put our meter on DC. So I'm going to start 200 volts and see if we're off. Bring you in a bit closer. Just see if we've got anything out of this. Right, we're showing 14.6. Let's go down one to 20 volts to get more accurate. There you go, that's what we're getting. Let's buzzer right up, see if that go up. Oh, we're up 18 volts there, look. Perfect. 16 volts. Let's adjust that if we go there. So if we ever ticking over, we've got 11.5, and the further up we go, 13 volts, 14, 15, 16, 20 volts, yeah, so we can run a good sort of 12 volt load on this. Perfect stuff. There we go. Just going to add this little bit on the video. But don't she run extremely well. Excellent. So there we are. Just going to tack this bit on the end of the video. And then in about 2 hours time, which will be 6 o'clock, it'll be posted. Right. Bye bye for now. Thanks very much for watching.